Hi, I'm doing another demonstration here, a model of plate tectonics. The other day we used a Milky Way, but here's something else. I'm a little mesmerized by this right now because if you can see, I've put oil in this glass pan and I have a couple of candles underneath as a heat source. And I've sprinkled oregano into the oil, and the oregano is getting caught in a convection current. I know this because I know the heat makes heated things less dense and they rise. And the little bits of oregano, can you see that? They're getting pulled over to right over the heat source. And then they're caught in that current. They're rising up and moving over to the side. And it keeps happening over and over and over. So I've actually created a convection current. Let's see if you can see it from the side too. You should be able to see bits of oregano getting pulled in over the heat, and they rise up and move over. Keep watching till you see it. See? Okay, now that's proof that there's a convection current going on. So now I'm trying to use this as a model. So think about it. If I'm trying to model plate tectonics, I've got to show layers of the earth. So this heat source down here would be representing what? Think about it. Yeah, it would be representing the hot core of the earth. Okay? And then the oil I've poured in here would be representing, think about it, that would represent the mantle. Okay? Now to represent continents and continental crust, I'm going to use pieces of styrofoam that will be on top of the mantle. And I want you to predict, I know I've set up this string so that I have these 4 quadrants. I want you to predict, if I drop a piece of styrofoam on top of the oil in each of these corners, what do you think they'll do? What will they do? It's like they'll be riding on top of the mantle. So let me put them in. Oh, they're sticking to my fingers a little bit. Get down there. Those corners. Oh, you see what's happening? I'll put these in these corners. Oh my gosh, they're riding on top of the mantle and the convection currents, pushing them away from the heat source. It's almost like I've created those divergent boundaries we talked about. And this is like seafloor spreading, where they're coming up. We can pretend there was a crack in the crust, and the continents on top got, the crust got pushed apart on either side. Pretty cool. So now, if I want to model a convergent boundary, where would I position these pieces of styrofoam? I'm going to take 2 of them out, and I want to make a convergent boundary. Let's think about it. You predict, where would I need to put them? We saw what happened just then. What if, let's try this. I'm going to put these 2 pieces that are representing continents, I'll put them in the same quadrant. Let me do this. All right, I'm going to let them go. And boom. They converged, they collided. All right, I was able to do that. Now let me show again, divergent boundary then. I'd have to have them on opposite sides of that heat source. And I'll let them go. Yeah, and that would represent a divergent boundary. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, I can do one more thing with this model. Let me take these out. I'm going to use that oregano spice again. And this time, instead of the styrofoam representing continental crust, I'm going to put a thin layer on top of this oil made from the oregano. I'll put it right over that heat source. and let's see what it does. Here we go. Ready from the top. Woo. Yeah, we can think of that like oceanic crust that's getting split at a divergent boundary. I'm going to do that one more time. Ready? Yeah, that's like crust riding right on top of the mantle. So this is yet another model of plate tectonics, because plates are so big and they move so slowly, it's not possible for human beings to see all that, so we use a model like this. So this time we are representing the core, with the hot core represented by the candles. We've got the mantle, just one layer of the mantle, of course. There's more layers than that. And then we represented the continental crust with styrofoam and some oregano sprinkled on top, and we've got convection going, and we've got stuff moving on top. We call this demonstration the moving surface.